Hey everybody, I'm Robert. This is Backyard Bodyworks, and we are going to be working on this truck today. 2000 Nissan Frontier. It's got squeaky belts. As you can hear, it has a really bad squeak to it. So we need to figure out what's causing that squeak and what we can do to fix it. So mainly it's just going to be a tightening up of the belts here and down here at the bottom. The first one we're going to be trying is this one here. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to stretch that out just a little bit. We got a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but we got a little bit of play in that belt. So we're going to tighten this one up, and then we're going to tighten up the air conditioning belt, which is down below. So this nut right here, it's got a little bolt through a, I don't know if you can see that on the video or not. I think you can. Yeah, you can see it. Got a little screw through that the bolt here goes through and attaches to the back of this pulley, and then as I crank on this, it moves it up or down depending on, yeah, we're moving it up, righty tighty lefty loosey. Just a few cranks on that until we get a good decent tension on that, and then we'll do the same thing down below. Again, this is a 2000 Nissan Frontier 4-cylinder. There we go. Yeah, it feels much better. There's, as you can see, there's not as much play in it now. So now we're going to go down here and we're going to look and see about, let's see if I can show it to you. Down here, can you guys see that? So there's the air conditioning pulley right there, and there's a, right below it, I don't know if you can see the nut, right below it, there's another pulley that needs to be adjusted, and I'm going to do that from below. Alright, so what we're going to need to do now is we're going to need to take this piece off, and so we can get to the pulley. Now, in order to do that, I need to use a 10mm socket to take off the bolts that hold this piece on. Which is the opposite of righty-tighty. So this is lefty-loosey. I don't know if you can see it in this picture, but this piece is bent. And that's from oil change places being lazy and not taking the bolts out that hold this thing on and just bending it down to get to the oil filter. I'm kind of mad about that. So if you're working the oil change business, remember, you know, you're working on somebody else's car. It's not yours. So don't be lazy. Of course, most of this is done by feel. I have decided that once I get the garage cleaned out, after the garage building is built, that we're going to get the 72 GT6 over here, and we're going to start working on it. That'll be our first project in the quote-unquote new garage. See, if I had a grease pit, this would be so much easier. Here we go. Like at my dad's house, he's got his workshop's got a grease pit. It's a 5-foot pit in the ground built into the concrete, and you can actually stand underneath the car and do stuff like this without having to lay on the ground. It is so much easier. Here we go. Oh wow. Ooh, I got radiator fluid. Oh, I bet you I know what that's from. I know what that's from. Oh yeah, you guys should be able to see that just fine. Alright, now there's a bolt on the end of it here that I'm going to adjust. It's going to adjust this pulley. And right now, wow, that thing is really loose. That looks like it might be 1/2. But we'll try the 14 just to make sure. When I say 1/2, it's I use metric and I use standard. Standard being in inches and metric being in millimeters. And that looks like it's going to be a 13 millimeter. I'm going to go get one of those. I'll be right back. And we're back. Didn't take long to find it. Being that this is a Japanese-made vehicle, they're usually it's usually metric. What is that? Okay, that's 13. That's a little big. Let's try the 12. Oh yeah, that's a nice fit. And that is a 14 millimeter. There's a nut on the front of the pulley that I have to loosen in order to get it to move. So we're going to do that real quick. I guess I need to take that extension off so I can get it in there. It's getting tighter. That's pretty tight there. Alright, I think I can go ahead and put everything back up. Alright, we're going to check that out and see how it works. Ah, yes. The Spitfire. We'll be doing some other things with that later. I'm still getting a squeal. I'm not really sure. I've tightened up all the belts, so there's only one more left, and it's that one right in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's the alternator belt, and see, there's the power steering belt right there. But it's down below. It's hard to see, but there's a nut right there. Yeah, you can see it right there. That's the only one left that I can think of that's still, loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that one up and see where we go from there. Put There it is, right there. I don't know if you can see my finger or not, but that's it right there. That's the one we got to move. Okay. Really? Okay. Let's try something else. All right. There we go. I guess 13 millimeter was a little bit big, so I don't understand that, because the 1/2 inch I would think was the one that would be big. I had to use a spanner wrench. And for those of you who don't know a spanner wrench, that's a spanner wrench, and it's got a box end and a closed end. Spanner is a British term, and since I work on British cars a lot, that is a term that I use quite frequently. So if you hear me talking about a spanner, if I ask Body Helper to get me a spanner, that's what I'm asking for. Sometimes you just got to use the right tool for the right job. Let's see what that does. Guys, that seems to have gotten rid of the squeal. I am very pleased. I'm happy. We'll tighten that up one more turn. And we'll tighten up the other piece. So it was the alternator belt that was squealing. That's odd for this truck. This is usually not a... The alternator belt's usually not the one I have. The problem that I have is usually with the air conditioning belt, because that pulley has a tendency to loosen. Don't know why, it just does. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Tighten that back up, and we will call this project finished. The next video, we're either going to be working on the building, or I'm going to give you guys a special treat, because I'm going to go over to my dad's house. I'm going to show you guys the GT6. Let me know what you guys think, and that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe below. If you want to get notified when we upload a video, ring the bell, and that'll alert you as to when we put things up onto YouTube. So thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. Bye.